Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Davey Deathray here. Hope you guys are having a lovely night so far. I know it's a late one for you East Coasters, but you guys have been amazing with the super chat goals, and I'm going to be very busy this weekend with stuff I already have planned for the channel, and then some other stuff just going on in my work life and all that kind of business. So I was like, well, shoot, if I'm going to fit in some bonus streams, then I need to do it like right now. And unbeknownst to me, until I already set up this stream, my good buddy Pat, that Halloween movie collector, he is alive as well. And man, he is out there on the East Coast. So he is really doing a live little bit tonight. I think they're doing talking final girls. So they're ranking the final girls or having a best final girls discussion. So probably a little more pointed and yeah, just topical than what we're going to do here. I don't know. I guess we'll see what we do, guys. I just figured I would go live for a good like hour-ish or so. There's a super chat goal if you guys want to stay up and keep on talking, all that kind of good stuff. We totally can. I'll just sort of feel, you know, just get a feeling for how everything's going with the flow of the chat and everything. And really, guys, this is like, you know, I try to do this at least once a week where it's kind of just an open forum chat and we can just BS about whatever. We always find a way to BS about whatever on almost every stream, you know, to varying degrees, of course. I am a bit of a talker, so if you get me on something that I'm interested in or have something to say about, yeah, I might just blah, blah, blah for almost forever. But yeah, this is perfect. If you've got some weird kind of thing you just want to chat about, you know, horror related or whatever. And I said horror related, not horror related. Tia, I see you in the chat. I'm just saying that because Tia's hilarious and saucy and sassy. Okay, I'm totally distracted now. I'm distracting myself. But anyways, this is the perfect night for distractions. We're just going to talk about whatever. So let me know if you have a topic you want to talk about. Maybe there's a movie coming out that you're really looking forward to and a lot of other people aren't talking about it, or maybe there's like a favorite movie you've got that you've been thinking about lately or that you just recently revisited and you're like, oh, has Davey seen that? That guy hasn't seen a lot of movies, but he has seen a lot of movies. I wonder what he would say about that, because guys, I do have to tell you, as of now, I have officially logged 2,104 movies on Letterboxd, and I've officially watched 70 movies for the first time this year. So I'm catching up. I'm trying to do 365 for the whole year. So yeah, certain days I'm going to have to double up and stuff like that. And I've even worked in some like short films. Basically, as long as it is on Letterboxd, even if it is like a short, like I've caught up on the Curry Barker movies, the guy that, you know, directed and wrote Obsession, which is coming out here in May. So he started out on YouTube and I've been catching up on some of his little, you know, short films that he's put up on his YouTube page. And I'm counting those because they're on Letterboxd as a movie. So anyways, most of them are going to be feature length. Maybe I'll do a breakdown on all that kind of stuff. But yeah, guys, let's just jump in, say what's up to y'all, and get this thing going. Guys, I know I haven't said it yet. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a damn thing. And if you're watching after the fact, thank you so very much. The replay views really do help, especially with a channel this small. So I really do appreciate it. Jump into the comments. Let me know if you have any questions or any responses or thoughts to anything that I am about to say, or that future me is about to say, I guess I should say. And if you really dig it, or you just dig what we're doing here, hit that hype button and it'll just make sure that, you know, YouTube pushes the channel a little bit more. The community is growing. We are marching towards 3,000 subscribers. So we're less than 200 away. So, really do appreciate you guys for, you know, doing all the free stuff, liking, sharing, all that kind of fun. And also the memberships and the super chats are incredible. You guys are awesome. So let's say what's up to y'all. And if you guys have any questions as I go through the introductions, I will just go ahead and hit them up thusly. How about that? We got Zach hanging out with us. What's happening, Zach? Welcome on in. We got Keelan from Kill the Credits, who is lotioned and ready. Ooh, yeah. I'm guessing, gosh, you know, where you live in the country, Keelan, do you need to use lotion very often? I would imagine that maybe you don't. I mean, yeah, some people just maybe are predisposed to having drier skin than others or whatever. But man, where I am at, it is like, it's a real thing. You know, it's amazing what the desert does to people's feet. I'll say that too. Which is why I cover my feet as much as I can out here in the desert. We got Adrian James hanging out. What's happening, Adrian? Welcome on in. We got Princey, who is so pumped that Anne Hathaway is in a dinosaur horror survival movie. I don't know anything about this movie other than the poster that I saw because Prince tagged me in a post over on Instagram. So yeah. Hey, I'm excited to see a trailer when they've got a trailer. Do they have a trailer? I don't think they do. We got Antonis Andriotis, one of our great channel members, jumping on in. What's happening, Antonis? Hope you are doing well. We got Austin, another one of our great channel members. Guys, whenever you put songs in the chat, there's a high likelihood I will not know the song. So I don't know the song that this is a reference to. But I appreciate it nonetheless. And it looks so good next to Audrey too. Like it really does. We got Tia Nina, another one of our great channel members, kicking it. What's happening, Tia? I love that I'm listed as Rainbow Nuts in the list. Well, this is the thing, Austin. So I download so it only gives me everyone's screen name. So it will do the @ like it gives the handle. So sorry, not the screen name, the actual handle with the @. And then when I download the list from YouTube, because I like to update the cards and everything. So when I download the list, it will actually show the your screen name that you have set. So I guess that's why it does Rainbow Nuts, because that must be your screen name, but not your handle. Some people's are the same, so that's why it all matches up. Final Guys do need love too. I mean, the OG, right? Like, I guess you can say like Sally is a final girl from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but we don't really know the outcome of her story. Like she escapes death, but she doesn't really like land a significant blow on Leatherface. For all that we know from after that first movie, she needs to be, put away in a facility for her own health for the rest of her life. Maybe put away is a harsh way of saying it. Who knows that after that experience, maybe it would be best for her to have some psychiatric help. Yeah, so I think of like the first Final Guy, and even like, yeah, Laurie Strode is a final girl, sure. I just think Ash is the fucking coolest, and he's a guy, right? He's final as fuck, Tommy Jarvis, that's another good one, right? Yeah, I don't know. What are some other final guys? Let's throw out here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do maybe we need to do would you guys like to do a stream about final guys sometime? I know other people have done it. I'm not saying that this is like, oh my gosh, we are like, creating some super brand new idea, but let me just put that up there. Let me know any final guys that you can think of. We've named the two big ones, Ash and Tommy Jarvis. But what else do we got? I know they exist in other franchises, so jump on in. Let me know. Maybe it would be fun to do a tier maker ranking kind of thing, or just a discussion, kind of, something fun. Turn it into a whole stream. I like having those streams that have some sort of like. Don't get me wrong. This is really cool, guys. Jumping on and not having to like yesterday doing all of the polls, we did like 26 of them to figure out what was the best horror movie of each one of those years. Like it was a total blast hanging out with you guys, but it felt like work, having to type them all out, go over to the timer, remember to set the timer first off, which I was not good at yesterday. I did okay for about half of the time. And then trying to converse with you guys, keeping an eye on the timer, like as like producer and host and everything, there's a lot of like stuff to like, a lot of plates to keep spinning on a stream like last night's, whereas tonight's it's just like, all right, whatever we're talking about. But I do love the driven conversations, so it might be kind of cool to do a Final Guys stream. Yeah, I don't know, what do you guys think? And how cool is it that we can figure out ideas of things to do on a stream during a stream. Like I even have pulled up, somebody had mentioned yesterday, was it Stewie, I think, had mentioned doing a stream that focuses, like, that shows off some of the best horror memes. So I looked up this page. It's like 30 of the best horror memes, and it's got like there's enough good ones to do like 10 of them that I think are good, I think, or funny enough to show. So we could do, just, it's fun to just kind of keep thinking of ideas, off the top of our heads of what we could do to keep this thing interesting. So yeah, Tia, there you go. I guess Jack Burton, does he count as a final guy? Even though, Big Trouble in Little China isn't really like horror, but it's like, is it horror enough? It might be. It might be horror enough. What's happening, Tatum? Welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. We got Carrie Crave Cinema, another one of our great channel members, hanging out with us. What's happening, Carrie? Hope you are doing well. Not only have I heard of Cold Storage, I watched it its opening week. I don't know if it might have been that actual day. I went and did a double feature of Cold Storage and what was the other one that released like right on the same day? I saw them back to back. I'm trying to remember what was it? Gosh, what was it, guys? What was at the beginning of February? Is that when Cold Storage was? Horror February 2026. I have to figure this out. I watched so many movies. It's absurd. Let's see here. It wasn't, I did Send Help and Whistle. Okay, so that was a back-to-back that I did. And then I did, let's see here. I did Cold Storage and, gosh, I don't know. What was the other one? Anywho, yes, I saw Cold Storage. I had fun with Cold Storage. How about that? There we go. First initial thoughts about the end of Oak Street. I am seated. Have they shown anything yet, Prince? Is it just a cast and a poster? I can't get too excited. Unless it's Evil Dead, I can get excited about anything Evil Dead. I reserve that right. Yeah, I have so much that I'm behind on. My computer is still kind of acting up, so really leaning on the lives lately, but it's been good. I'll be right back, says hi Davey. Hi everyone. It's 3 a.m. and guess who can't sleep? Well, I'm happy that we're here for you at least. Maybe the soothing voice of Davey Deathray will let you forget about whatever is keeping you up at 3 a.m. and, just remind you to breathe in and breathe out and find some lovely, lovely rest. There we go. How about that? We got Nanette hanging out with us as well. Another one of our great channel members. What's happening, Nettie? Hope you are doing well. Also, can we hype the live stream after? Yes. Yeah, that's why I mention it when I'm talking to the replay audience, because it won't let you hype it now. It will let you like it now. And then once the stream actually ends, you can jump back in and you can hit the hype button. Yeah, so I mean, guys, if you're here for the live, the whole shebang, and you're like, other people should see that, you can definitely come back in and hype it up. All right, we've got Ben Grimm in the house, another one of our great channel members. What's happening, Ben? Good to see ya. We got Brian Claudio hanging out. What's happening, Brian? Hope you are doing well. Welcome on in. What is that new movie we got a teaser for with Anne Hathaway and Bateman? Is it a horror movie? Is it Bateman? I thought it was Prince. You had said something about Ewan McGregor in there. I don't know. Did we get a teaser? I might have missed it in the chat, or I'm that far behind in the chat. But I guess I'll have to check it out because I just saw the poster. I've been it's been wall to wall busy. So guys, last night, and I don't even think I mentioned it during last night's late night. Yesterday was my parents' 55th wedding anniversary. So congratulations to them. 55 years, hardcore, I know. And then we did a little something, a little dinner thing for them tonight. So I went to They Will Kill You at 3 o'clock, came back for dinner, and then jumping in here with you guys. So it's, other than work and stuff like that, it's just been pretty busy. Jesse from Nightmare on Elm Street 2. Yeah, there you go. Freddy's Revenge. He is. I guess he is a final guy, even though it is his girlfriend. Not Meryl Streep, but even cuter than Meryl Streep, who saves him. He is, yes, a final guy for sure. We got Jigsaw dropping a $2 super chat. Turn around, here is number one. So let's get it going and blah, 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 blah. There we go. All right. Like, even if I sing fake lyrics, am I going to get in trouble? I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, so Norman Bates, yeah, I mean, he's the villain, but in Psycho 2, he's not really the villain, but at the end, if you know what I'm talking about, I don't think I can count Norman Bates because that's like counting Jason. That's like saying Jason is a final guy. Like, no. Like, I don't want to count villains. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so we got Jesse, we got Tommy Jarvis, we've got Ash Williams, right? So far. Stewie, what's happening? I just gave you a little shout out. I believe it was you who had brought up covering horror memes on an upcoming live stream. I still have that tab pulled up, so we haven't forgotten about you. Yes, final guys do matter. Come on, everyone. We got Jason from Backtrack Cinema in the house. What's happening, Jason? Hope you're doing well, bud. Thanks for dropping on in. Nobody ever thinks about this, but I'll tell you a final guy. Van Helsing. Okay. Yeah. John Harker. Does he count as a final guy? Maybe. Yeah, Van Helsing, I guess he does. I guess you would count Van Helsing, right? Why not? Andy Barclay? Yes. There we go. Andy Barclay. Randy survived Scream 1. Yeah, he's not. Is he lead enough? Is he marquee enough to be considered a final guy? I guess I'll allow it. Yeah, I won't throw a fit about it. Alex Browning, Final Destination. Yeah, okay, why not? I know that they, write him off in the next movie? Is it in the second movie that they killed him off with a newspaper article or something weak like that? But yeah, in that first movie, he definitely is. Final guys live stream. Men need their flowers / props as well. Okay. Alex is a total final guy. Just the damn falling brick. Oh, yeah. Is that what kills him? Is that what's in the newspaper article? A random falling brick killed this guy that was in the first movie. That's exactly, I think, what the article says. Now, so ladies, it's mostly ladies that are chiming in that are like, rah, rah, rah. So I want your input on this. Do you want it to just be kind of like what we're doing here, but more in a normal time of day so a lot of people can chit chat? Or do you want to do a tier maker ranking? Do you want to do like a ranking and then by way of ranking, we end up having a discussion? Or do you just want the discussion? Let me know, and then we'll move on. We will move on. Alex was bricked up. Dude got bricked in the dirt. Shaun of the Dead. Yes, that would be a cool sequel name. Yeah. Shaun from Shaun of the Dead totally counts. Yeah, you can totally count Shaun. And I guess if we're going that route, then we can count, Peter from Dawn of the Dead. And then Fran would be the final girl from that movie as well, right? And then you've got John and gosh, why can't I remember the Irishman's name in Day of the Dead? Oh man, I feel that is my favorite zombie movie of all time, and I am just having a total brain fart. Wow, the Booze Hound guy. I don't know. You guys will help. But John, like the Islander guy, and then, Irishman guy. I love that Romero, would write those characters that had, strong, you can make a movie where it's just everyone has American accents and stuff like that. I love that Romero would do stuff where he's like, no, I want, the guy that has an Irish accent, even though he's living, on East Coast America. Let's just do it, I love that about especially those older Romero movies. Dewey from Scream. Okay, let's go. Dewey from Scream. Hey, not only Zach Galligan in Waxwork, Zach Galligan in Gremlins. Okay, So now I'm gonna get a list going here. Okay, guys. So so this is fun. This is why we do these like kind of agenda lists kind of streams. Let me know if you guys enjoy this kind of stuff, especially for you guys that are watching live. You can let me know by hitting the like button and all that stuff. And if you guys are watching after the fact and you like these sort of free form streams that are really just like hanging out, let me know by jumping into the comments and giving me a final guy, or maybe even some thoughts on one of these final guys. And yeah, I mean, I love getting the conversation going with you guys in the comments. And then when we're mid or during the stream, you know, we can bring up some of those comments. So jump on in and let us know. Okay, so Ash Williams, Tommy Jarvis, Jesse, I don't know his last name, from Freddy's Revenge. Let's see, who else are we doing? Sean from Shaun of the Dead. There we go. Sean from Shaun of the Dead. And then I'm going to do Peter from Dawn of the Dead. John and Blankety Blank from Day of the Dead. Let's see here. Hey, Riley from Land of the Dead. Oh, damn. You just might as well get all the Romero stuff out of there. Okay, so Zach Galligan. I'll get the character names later. From Waxwork and from Gremlins/Gremlins 2. So kind of low key, guys. Zach Galligan is like kind of a big deal final guy. I mean, I know Waxwork doesn't get, like, a lot of people don't talk about it too much or anything like that. In fact, like, I think it would make for a really good remake. You know, doing something fresh with it, because it's not like House of Wax. It's way more like A Nightmare on Elm Street, right? Like, those of you who have seen it know what I'm talking about. And I didn't expect that. I just watched it for the first time, like, it might have only been like a year ago, maybe a year and a half, but I think closer to like a year ago. And I really dug it. Oh gosh, I guess it was closer to a year and a half ago. I quite liked it. So there you go. Zach Galligan's kind of low key, you know, big time final girl. Alex Browning from Final Destination. And I don't think I missed any others while we were going through there, but if I did, you guys got to let me know. Gotta let me know. We got Antonis Andriotis dropping a $4.99 super chat. Thank you so very much, Antonis. Really appreciate you. Dewey from Scream. We're gonna get Dewey from Scream in there, and I'll allow Randy, Dewey from the Scream franchise, and really for most of the franchise, Randy from Scream. We're only gonna count him for that one. Even though he shows up in 3, we're only gonna count him for the 1. All right, there we go. 2 final guys in the thing, kind of. I want to count them, but I know they die. You know, I think I get what you're saying. And yeah, that's one of those things, like I was saying last night to you, certain movies I didn't include in those polls because I was like, is that just me being a super fan? So it's like, I absolutely love and cherish The Thing. Is it me just being a super fan that I want both of those guys to, that I want McCready and Childs to be in there? Because I know they don't live. So are they really final? Do they really beat The Thing? I mean, all they survive is the runtime of the film. So, yeah, I don't know. I'll let you guys decide. If you think McCready and Childs should be included, I will let the chat right now. I will let the chat decide, but you have to jump in and you got to let me know. Okay. And I gotta know that you back it. Another final guy is Jack Torrance. He's a villain though. So we're no villains. Okay, guys. I'm not being like no villains. How dare you? I'm just reminding. We're just going to go. Yeah. Non-villain area, like Chief Brody. There we go. Chief Brody. We're going to count him. Chief Brody from Jaws, of course, Jaws 2. And then I guess we got to go with Arnold from Predator, right? What the hell is his name? Why can't I think of his name? Jason, you're gonna have to tell me what Arnie's name. It's like, it's another brain fart because I've been talking about this character because they're bringing the character back. I just saw a news story like 2 weeks ago about it, or maybe not even that. And for whatever reason, Dutch is his name. Okay. I knew if I kept on talking about it, and I'm sure somebody's put it in the chat, but I'm sitting here staring at this notepad file. Dutch from Predator. Okay. If we want to count him, I'll throw him on there because it's Arnold. How about it? Okay, let's see what else we got from you guys. Cold Storage was fun, man. It was fun. Yeah, maybe I went and saw it in 28. I mean, I might have seen the Bone Temple and Cold Storage. I think I might have waited on Bone Temple and done both of those at the same time. And I had a good time with both of them as well. And Jiggy throwing out some more lyrics. I think maybe they might be parody lyrics, but I wish I knew the song, Jiggy. I really wish I did, but I don't. Forewarning to everyone, do not watch Do Not Enter. There you go. Yeah, Cold Storage, it was really fun. I think it's kind of like a single serving. It's not something I would find myself wanting to own, but I do want to see, what is it, Joe Keery? Is it Keery or Creary? Why do I always forget that? Joe Keery. I do want to see him in more stuff. He's got a bit of a Kurt Russell kind of vibe. He doesn't have the rugged manliness yet. He could get that at some point. He still has kind of like those boyish good looks and everything, but he's got like the big hair, and then the way he plays his character in Cold Storage is very like Jack Burton-ish, I dig it. And now say it, baby. Yeah. I used to sing, it's 3 a.m. I must be horny. Right? That's the high school kids version parody of that, which I was in high school when that song came out. So it all checks out. No, you know what? I miss both of those. Yeah, I miss both of those. I'll have to catch those on streaming though. At least Iron Lung. Maybe. Did we get a release date for that one? I did not see that come through the old Bloody Disgusting. But I might have missed it. Might have missed that one. I saw that Lee Cronin gave up an opportunity to do another Evil Dead movie, to do the Mummy movie. So I'm very curious about this Mummy movie because it seems pretty odd, pretty strange. Yeah, I don't see anything about that, but maybe it's just maybe Bloody Disgusting is just kind of slow on the uptake there. But I'm curious about that one. Once I see a trailer, I can actually be excited because you know how it is with these franchises that have not had a very strong legacy, and then out of nowhere they want to recapture that magic. We saw it with TCM, did it in 2022 with the Netflix movie. The people that didn't like the David Gordon Green movies would, I'm sure, say that about his Halloween movies, trying to recapture that feeling. But with Return of the Living Dead, there's the part of me where I'm like, do I really care about this franchise, or do I just really like that first movie? Like, does the horror community really celebrate the franchise, or is it really about the first movie? And the other movies, I guess we just sort of like, we live with and we find a way to love certain parts of certain ones of those. Like I kind of get that vibe. Or that's just the way I feel about Return of the Living Dead. So yeah, once we get a real trailer, I'll be a lot more interested to see what we got. Davey, come back. You can blame it all on me. I was wrong, and I just can't stream without you. Oh, it's Bateman, huh? All right. Well, Bateman is pretty dope. So yeah. Oh, damn. I can't believe we have about 20 people in here. Yeah, I know. Yeah, usually I don't go live on Thursdays, guys. It's just, if this were any other week where I didn't have some work stuff going on the weekend, I would have totally saved this one for the weekend. But I got to be creative. So no worries, Gaz. I totally get it. Garrett's a lot of fun. here's the cool thing, I guess. We're probably having two totally different conversations. So I think that's pretty awesome. I love what Garrett does over there. Born to be Rad is awesome. The Rad Pack crew are really fun. And as far as my interaction goes with all of those guys, very, very sweet as well. So yeah, I appreciate you sticking over here, man. I do. I sure do appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. And always a pleasure to see you, man. We got Chris Schober jumping on in, says, what are your thoughts on Scream 8 if we get the movie? And what are your opinions on Stu if he comes back in Scream 8? Ooh, it's been a while since I've talked Scream. So, yeah, I think we're going to get, I think we're going to get Scream 8. It sounds like Kevin already kind of has some ideas of where he wants to take things, right? Now, they could be working on some of those ideas behind the scenes. Technically, it wouldn't be pre-production, even though it is pre-production, but it would just be work that they're doing to kind of get ready. And then that way, once we get official word that the film's been greenlit and they go into, they are getting ready to enter that pre-production stage, they'll just be able to hit the ground running. So I think that's kind of the plan here. I wouldn't be surprised if we get, so the soonest I would expect Scream 8 would be December of 2027. And that would be kind of cool because I believe the first two movies came out in December. At least I think the first one came out like mid-December. So I think that would be a pretty awesome release date. I like horror in the winter as well. And there's like the fact that you could put it in the winter. You could have a winter Scream movie, which I think, maybe it would be gimmicky, but Scream is a franchise that's been very samey in a lot of ways, like formulaically pretty samey other than location. And, we could have one in the middle of like a snowstorm or something like that. A Christmas time Scream movie could be pretty fun. It would stick out amongst the franchise. It would be, oh, that's the one that's the Christmas one. I think those are kind of fun things to have. Like, think about the way we talk about, Friday the 13th or A Nightmare on Elm Street or Halloween. You can kind of break them down by, oh, what was the Friday the 13th where like it's a guy copycatting Jason? You're like, oh, that's A New Beginning. All right, what's the one with Corey Feldman? Oh, that's the final chapter. You can sort of break down the movies or the franchise by these little things that they're known for. These little like mile markers or little flares they're sending up. So I think it'd be cool if Scream 8 were a winter movie. That's a long, long way of saying that. And my opinions on Stu is I think Stu is dead. I think he always has been dead. I've never been a Stu believer kind of person. I never I think every indication that they've given us from within the franchise says that he's dead, but they technically haven't completely drilled the last screw into the coffin, so to speak. So they've been really creative or clever from the creative side, right? Because they don't want to say definitively he's not dead, but he's hardly been mentioned. He's presumed dead. The Scream 7 made it pretty clear that he is in fact dead, but that maybe paperwork, or that not even maybe, that he is dead and paperwork was stolen by the people playing Ghostface in Scream 7. So I think he's dead. I don't want him back. Didn't want him back for 7. I think it would be worse if they brought him back for 8. That's my opinion on Stu. Like, as a fan that didn't want Stu to come back, if he were in 7 and he came back alive, I would have been like, well, I really didn't want Scream to do that because it seemed like a bit too far-fetched for this relatively grounded franchise. So if they ended up not doing it in 7 and then doing it in 8, I'm just going to sit there and think, well, you should have just done it in 7. Because now I think it's even dumber to bring him back. And I feel like you're just doing it to appease people that you may have upset, which I don't think the Stu believers are that upset that they will stop supporting Scream. I just think it's a bummer for them that they didn't get their way, But I think the Stu believers are... It's funny, like I watch some discourse, Chris, here on YouTube. I'm a huge YouTube audience member, so I watch a lot of my contemporaries and a lot of other horror YouTubers. And I think the people that like are Stu believers, I've noticed the way they talk about it is kind of like the fans are split 50-50 on Stu being alive. I don't think it's close to that. I think it's maybe like an 80-20. But that the people that want Stu to be alive, they gather, they stay together. I don't want to use the word echo chamber because that's a bit too much, I think. But there is sort of like this, yes, like let's convince each other that this thing could happen. But I think they're a pretty small minority amongst Scream fans. Could be wrong, but there you go. Scream 8, put it in the winter, December 2027. I want Kevin to write, direct, and all that for this one. And I think him saying that he will probably take a step back because he wants to direct another movie and direct some TV shows. I think that is his way of getting Paramount to come over and say, hey, Kevin, we really want you to do Scream 8 because Scream 7 was the most successful movie in the franchise's history. So please come back and do Scream 8. We will make sure that the very next thing you do after Scream 8 is going to be that movie you want to make. That's what I think is going to happen. I think right now it's probably a 50-50 on whether or not Kevin comes back. And that's with him having said he will probably take a step back. I still think it's 50-50. I don't have any insider info. It's my gut feeling based on, the things that I've learned from watching and listening to public negotiations through athletics and entertainment, because there's certain things that happen and certain things that get said that just make my antenna go up. And when he says probably step back because I want to do this and I want to do that, that's his way of letting Paramount know, hey guys, like this stuff's more important. Gosh, if only somebody could help me make those things happen, because just because he wants to direct a movie he already wrote, it doesn't mean he has a deal on the table to go direct that movie. If he doesn't do Scream 8, it's not guaranteed he gets to make that movie. He would still have to convince a studio to make it. Now, he's Kevin Williamson, so he's in a good spot to do it, but it doesn't make it guaranteed. But if he tells Paramount, make sure that other one happens and you got me for Scream 8, then I think they'd be like, all right, let's do it. Let's do it. And it would keep Nev really happy too, right? I'm sure she had a great time and would want to run it back. Thank you for the question, Chris. I took a long one on that one, guys. Took a little bit, but I like that. That's what I like about these streams. Oh, I hope you have great sleeps, Linda. I'm sure you're already asleep because I'm 20 minutes behind on the chat now. But I hope you had a great night's sleep. Thank you so much for being a channel member. And I know I will rarely ever go this late, but we'll see you next time around, Linda. I don't think he is. He's a villain. He's a villain, so I wouldn't count a villain would be excluded from Final Guy, right? Yeah, John Harker could be in there. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. So we got Van Helsing. Man, maybe the OG, OG Final Guy. Like, yeah. No worries, Paula. We are just hanging out. So, I mean, I guess in a way, technically, you missed some stuff, but not really, because we're just chilling. I'll allow it. Yes, Judge D. I take it from there's that Clerks animated series episode where they go to court and it's what is it, Judge Reinhold or whatever. Yeah. All right. Needed that sip of water. Flowervale Street with Ewan McGregor and Anne Hathaway. No Bateman, though, as parents in a seemingly idyllic 80s suburb where strange neighborhood events begin to unfold. So what's the other? So the other movie is something else. So Anne Hathaway's got 2 movies that were just announced today. That's pretty wild. It's almost as wild as me trying to figure it out from just reading chats instead of reading a press release. Does Officer Burt count in Final Destination 2? Does he live? Does he live? He lives and the girl lives, right? You got to make it out of the movie alive. Do they get killed at the end of the movie? If they get killed at the end of the movie, it doesn't count. I mean, I don't even know. Like, I wouldn't even really count Sally Hardesty as a final girl. Like, technically, okay, I'm not gonna like kick and scream. But if somebody is like, oh, she's one of the best final girls, I'll just be like, what, for like running, and she jumped out of a window and she ran and screamed. And that is, I'm trying to think of what else she did. Really, you know, I don't think she's not responsible for the damage to Leatherface at the end, right? Isn't it like the 6'8" truck driver that like hits him with a door? Maybe it was Sally. Maybe it's been a little bit. I think, you know what? It has been since the last time I saw the original TCM. I watched it, I think right before watching the Netflix one. So it was probably 2022. So I could have that all wrong. Maybe Sally did a little more. Tier ranking? Cool. We'll do that one. Ernest Menville from Death Becomes Her is a great final guy. Is Death Becomes Her a movie that has a final guy? I mean, I thought it was a dark comedy. It's not like a slasher or something like that, is it? Or a horror? The Broskis from Jaws. Oh, you mean Brody's. Well, Chief Brody, he counts. Yeah. He definitely counts. And we got more singing. I could stay awake I could stay awake just to hear you breathe in. Even though that kind of creepy while you away dream. Okay. I wish I knew that song well enough to sing it. I don't. When was the last time I heard that one? Even though I do say so you don't miss a thing on my thing, in my little spiel. Gosh, when was the last time I really listened to Aerosmith? I'll tell you this, Get a Grip has some bangers. It really does. I mean, their old stuff is really fun too. There's a song that they've got that was, I think it was on their Big Ones greatest hits thing, where they put, you know, they always sneak a couple B-sides on those greatest hits records, and they call them greatest hits, but really they just wanted an excuse to release songs that they thought were good that never really got the light of day. And there's a song that was on, I think it's on that record, but really I heard it from the Beavis and Butthead Experience, and it's called Deuces Are Wild. That's a really fun Aerosmith song, little mid 90s. I'm not gonna no demonic possession, like religious demonic possession. Like, it makes sense in Evil Dead, like Ash being a final guy, he is actually sitting there fighting and like doing the do. I can't, these priests in The Exorcist, what are they doing? They're just getting like barfed on and like flicking water around. Come on, guys. You're not, go grab a chainsaw and start chopping off some limbs, and then we can start talking about you being a final guy. But yeah, I guess final guy and final girl, you know, isn't always appropriate for every horror movie, you know. We got Sean G hanging out, dropping a $5 Canadian. Thank you so much, G. Hope you're doing well. Says, happy 55th anniversary, Mr. and Mrs. Conway. Thanks for having that last kid. He's a real firecracker. I'm going to screen cap that with me smiling. Okay, let me grab that. I'm going to share that with my parents, Sean. There you go. All right, cool. Got that. Thank you so much, man. Really do appreciate you. That's a very, very sweet sentiment for you to send in. And thank you so much for the super chat, man. Hope you're doing well. Dylan in New Nightmare. You know, I want to say yes, but his mom does all the fighting. But Dylan in Dylan's New Nightmare, yeah, I mean, he doesn't have to fight. He doesn't fight too much in that fan film, but maybe in the sequel he would. Yeah. Ray Bronson from I Know What You Did Last Summer would have been one, but, you know, changes because of the new I Know What You Did. Well, he can still count from that first movie. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's, yeah, just because he ends up switching over and becoming a fisherman killer, like, you know, like I will allow Ray. God, that sucks that they did that. That movie, that movie does so much more harm to the franchise than anything else. And it wasn't a strong franchise to begin with. And you just gotta, you know, go up to this like sickly poor franchise and just beat it to hell. Ray, what the hell's his last name? Bronson from I Know What You Did Last Summer. Oh my goodness, I can't believe they did that to that franchise. It was already like, you know, just pull the plug. Like, don't like the franchise is already in a coma and you're like slapping its face. Like, just pull the plug. Come on. We got Antonis Andriotis dropping another super chat. This one $4.99. Thank you so much, Antonis. Really do appreciate you, bud. Can we rank them by decade like we did with the last stream? Yeah, so we can we could do that. We could do ranking final guys by decade. Now, so wait, you want to be like, who's the best one of the 80s, the best one of the 70s, the best one of the 90s? Like, kind of do that. I was thinking, well, how many do we have right now? So we have 3, 6, 9, 12. So 15. So let's say we end up getting 20, right? I think it would be fun if we end up getting like 20 of them. Just doing a live tier maker ranking would be kind of cool, just to see where they stack up against each other. And then the cool thing about that, Tia, is it will still put them, like, say Ash wins first place. He would be at the top and he would be the furthest. Here, I'll move this way. He'd be the furthest left. But yeah, we can, what we got, like 15 or 16 as of now. So let's see if you guys throw any other ones out there. I still think I remember what I know you did 30 summers ago. Let me see, 30 years ago, 96. I couldn't specifically tell you what I was doing that summer, but I know that I didn't hit anybody with a vehicle. At least not that summer. Jesse Walsh is his name from Nightmare on Elm Street. Thank you so much, Jesse Walsh. That movie breaks so much of the lore. I want to love Freddy's Revenge more, but it's just so out there. Mark Loftmore. Okay, so that's the character's name. Thank you, Ben. Thank you. Mark Loftmore. All right. Uh-oh, I think I have to sneeze, guys. Woo! All right, that'll wake you up. Bert Stanton from Children of the Corn. Guys, you're going to have to let me know. Do they live at the end of Children of the Corn? Only if you've lived. Reggie Bannister from Phantasm. There we go. Yes, that's what I'm talking about, people. Man, I need to rewatch that. I think I've only seen the first two. I need to go back, rewatch the first two, and just finish out the franchise. Say what you want about Phantasm. I at least owe those first two movies a rewatch, you know? And then just to be able to say that I've watched all the movies. Like last night, I finally watched the last movie from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise that I had never seen. So Leatherface from 2017. That was the last one. Checked that off the list. Boom. So I've seen that whole franchise. Finally, I can say that. Now, Poltergeist, I still have to watch the remake, and then I can say I've watched that whole franchise. I'm going to be working through like Saw and what's the other one I've got working? Hellraiser. To work on those too. Just finished up Psycho last week. Google told me Dr. Gordon in Saw. Well, but we find out in a couple movies after that he worked with him immediately after he made it out. Is he a final guy? I'll let everyone else decide on that one. Dr. Gordon from Saw. Okay. Although that one, I just know he turns into a villain. Yeah. Well, he plays such a good asshole. It seems like they always have him play an asshole or just not make it out, you know? Billy Peltzer, thank you. Oh yeah, Brewster, Charlie Brewster from Fright Night. There we go. Thank you, Ben. Charlie, we got some good ones. Yeah, I think instead of pitting these guys all against each other and having them eliminated, I think like a tier maker ranking would be super dope. It's also a little bit easier on me, so maybe I'm in the bag for myself there. Billy Peltzer. There we go. Oh, Billy. Michael from Lost Boys. Let's see here. William Ragsdale. Which movie is that? Sean. Which movie is that one? William Ragsdale. That name is so familiar to me. Why is that name so familiar? Why? I still can't remember the name of the Irishman from Day of the Dead. Michael from Lost Boys. Brooke Scarlett, our great channel member and Death Squad mod. How are you doing there, Brookie? The lovely Miss Brooke Scarlett. I hope you're doing well, Brooke. I hope the fam is rocking and rolling and that 2026 has been so awesome for you guys so far. Does Richie make it all the way through? See, then you could just say all the boys. Like, are they actual? So, maybe we need to, the parameters of final guy need to be defined a little bit more. I do need to add Andy Barkley. Thank you so much. From the past, Linda coming in to save the day. How about it? There we go. Andy Barkley. Okay, and I think I'm going to jump down to the bottom of the chat here because I'm so far behind. I wanted to like that one a lot better. Yeah. I wanted a lot. Dr. Giggles really didn't do it for me. Yeah. Maybe if I saw it as a kid, like when it came out, I'd have some nostalgia for it. But I thought it was like so low energy, and they kind of have some sort of funny little lines of dialogue, one-liners and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. Dr. Giggles, I just thought was kind of slow and boring. What's happening? Aaron Click is in the house, folks. There we go. We got him. Welcome on in, Aaron. Hope you're doing well. Okay, let's see here. No, he wouldn't be a final guy. I mean, it's like final girl, right? So you're not like the 65-year-old woman that didn't get killed in the movie isn't a final girl. It's like they are, I would put Loomis is more like your Dr. Frankenstein kind of thing. Or even like Van Helsing. So Van Helsing is like, that's dubious. I've never heard anyone describe Dr. Loomis as a final guy. You know what I mean? Let's see here. Detective Kinderman in the original Exorcist, not so much in Exorcist 3. Yeah, but I mean, they have to be way more involved. They have to be like in danger. They have to be like one of the primary targets or a final target. You know what I mean? Like, so a cop trying to come in and do something in any horror movie doesn't necessarily make them a final guy or final gal. Like Chief Brody gets it because he's there like face to face with the beast. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's just certain things. Cool. I'll have to check that out, man. I'll have to check it out. Okay, let me catch up with everybody here. I'm just going to go all the way to the bottom of the chat. There we go. Boom. Okay, I'm going to make sure I don't miss any super chats. We got Jigsaw dropping a $5. Everybody mambo. For the Mambo number 5, I'm guessing that's where he's going. Ryan Michael with a $2. What's happening, Ryan? Welcome on in. Wilkie's Movies and Music. What's happening, Corey? Dropping a $10 super chat. Thank you so much, man. Really do appreciate you. Antonis Andriotis with a $4.99. Ryan with a $1.99, and boom, Paul jumping in with a $2 super chat. So holy cow, guys, we have reached the goal. We are gonna go for another hour. Let's friggin' go. I am so sorry that it took me so long. Look at this, 8:35, 8:30. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm terrible. I got really bogged down by the final guy discussion we've been having, but thank you all so very much for the super chats. Really do appreciate y'all. Okay, so I'm going to end the final guy discussion because now it's getting to the point, I think, where we are just naming every male character that doesn't die in every horror movie, which is not really where we're at with that one. Or that's not really the definition of final guy isn't just a man that lived in a horror movie. March Madness tourney of final guys. Well, we need to do the March Madness of what was the other one that we just came up with? All the win. Oh, we're gonna do that with the with all of the movies that win best horror movie of that year. That'll be hardcore. That one will be hardcore. That'll be damn fun too. I'm looking forward to that. If you guys missed the stream from last night, you got to check it out. It was a friggin' blast. What's happening, Christine? Welcome on in. Hope you are doing well. Great to see ya. Let's see what else we got going on here. Linda is still hanging out. All right, Linda. Yes. Glenn Quinn. Ooh, you know, and I don't know that actor's name off the top of my head. I only knew the guy that plays Dr. Giggles. He was in LA Law when I was a kid. So I think he won an Emmy Award for his role there. Yeah. Yeah, you know, Chris Stuckman has almost as much energy as Dr. Giggles. That's how low energy he is. I don't know. We'll do, if you can't remember any of the Mambos, Aaron, we'll do some merengue. How about that? I love a good merengue, and what taught me love for merengue, I just like saying merengue. The movie that taught me love for that kind of dance is My Blue Heaven. Steve Martin and Rick Moranis. There's a lot of merengue in that one. It'll make you fall in love with it. It will. Yeah, we are going to do a bracket for that one. And that makes sense to me to do a bracket with that many. Now with Final Guys, I still like the tier maker. I do, because a bracket just pushes them out, and then we forget, like, you know what I mean? It's like, I like in a tier maker, it's just who is better. Like, let's all stack them, or let's stack them all on a mountain. You know, who really sits at the top of, you know, king shit mountain. But really, whatever you guys want to do. For sure, we have to do a bracket with the movies, with the best horror movie from every year, because we're going to have so damn many. So we're definitely going to do a bracket with that style. I think with Final Guys, I like the tier maker. I think that'd be kind of cool. He was in Roseanne and Angel. Glenn Quinn, Roseanne and see, I never watched the Angel show, but I did watch Roseanne. Huh. I'm trying to think of who he played, and I can't think of it. I guess I'll have to watch Dr. Giggles again. Oh, gotcha. Okay. I missed some of the side chat. Sorry, guys. I got bogged down 30 minutes in the past there. Holy cow, we have 30 people watching us. Guys, it is midnight on the East Coast, or just past. So technically, right now where I'm at, it's still March 26th. How about that? But if you are watching right now, thank you so very much. Hit the like button, all that good stuff. Maybe you are digging what you're seeing and you're doom scrolling, and you know somebody else that's doom scrolling, share the channel. We're talking horror. We just got done talking Final Guys. Let me get that banner off there, because later on in the near future, we're going to have a little, you know, Final Guy tier maker ranking and discussion. Should be pretty awesome. Okay, let's see what I missed here. Just finished up the latest episode of The Pit. Not as good as last week, but still amazing. I have not heard of that one. Is it about Pittsburgh? I'm guessing that's what The Pit means. Theron the Brutal, what's happening? Says, found your channel while I was doom scrolling on the commode this morning. Subscribed and proceeded to binge your videos all day at work. Oh my God, that is way too sweet. Thank you so very much. God, I can't believe it. Does that mean that the Davey Deathray channel is officially binge worthy? That's pretty damn awesome. Amazing. Thank you so much, man. I'm so happy that the algorithm, you know, put us in your feed there. And yeah, doom scrolling on the commode, on the toilet or in bed. That's where we do most of the doom scrolling, right? So, so yeah. Welcome on in. I'm glad you dig it, and I go live a lot, so you'll have plenty of opportunity to hang out with everyone. Let's see here. You shouldn't be standing here in the frozen food section, because you could melt all this stuff. But yeah, the way he says that, it's amazing. It is amazing. The first time I ever heard of arugula was My Blue Heaven. Yeah. Which final guy will be the cock on the block and the cock of the walk? He was Mark. Oh, yeah, he plays one of Darlene's. No, the other girl. He plays one of Becky's boyfriends. Okay, I can, now I know what you're talking about. Now I know what you're talking about. There we go. Yeah, Becky's boyfriend. Yeah. Husband. Okay. Yeah, now that you're saying it, I'm like, oh yeah, I do remember him being recognizable. And I was like, where have I seen that dude? And yeah, that's what it was. Oh my God. Well, I saw the first Dentist, and yeah, I don't think I ever watched the second one. Did I ever watch the second one? Now I don't even know. There was this blur where I was watching new movies. I mean, I've been watching new movies every night pretty much all year. No, I did not see this one. The first one was bad. I did not appreciate the first Dentist movie. I gave it 2 stars. 2 stars for the Corbin Burnson vehicle called The Dentist. ER in Pittsburgh. Okay, another hospital show. All right, we love our hospital shows. We sure do. Just for the fun of it, I'm going to hit the pen. Don't judge me, guys, all right? Toilet binge worthy is triumph. Yes, achievement unlocked. Thank you, Theron. That's what that you should get an achievement unlocked for that. Like, somebody binged 5 of your videos while taking the longest shit of their life, or something like that. Like, give me a little something, YouTube. Come on. All right, let's see what else we got. Sean G says, I've been binging the shit out of your old streams, but I didn't know there was a hype button. What the F? I'm gonna have to go back and remedy that. Yeah, you get certain amount of hype points like every week, I think, that you can use, right? And yeah, it's a really cool way of going back to those streams and just kind of like giving them a little bump, for sure. And the cool thing about the hype button, guys, is people that have, I think they cap it off at like, I don't think it's 50,000. No, maybe it is 50,000. There's some amount of subscriber count where like you can, like, Mr. Beast can't have his videos hyped. You know what I mean? Because it, like, which I appreciate from YouTube because it kind of evens it out a little bit, So I dig that. Yeah, there is a hype button. It's true. There you go. Nanette's in her bed. There you are. Who's on the toilet? That's all we need to fulfill our bingo. That new Netflix show produced by the Duffer Brothers came out. Something very bad is going to happen. I watched episode 1. Pretty creepy. Okay. You recommend it, Ben? I would love to know if you recommend it. Pretty creepy sounds like you recommend it, but you stopped short of saying that you do. We got David hanging out. What's happening? David says, I've been watching my all-time favorite movies for the past few days. That's a good feeling. I'm a big rewatcher, guys. That's one of the reasons why I'm, forcing myself to do 365 movies I've never seen before this year, because I am such a creature of habit. I fall into that. I watch favorite movies over and over again. I've still watched movies this year that I've already seen, and it will happen again in the future. But yeah, I mean, it's so much fun to just dip back into the comfort, It's a good feeling. Let's see here. I do have a Discord, everyone. I do have a Discord. Somebody can share. I guess we don't have any mods in here, so I guess no one can share the link. The last time I tried to share the link, I guess it wasn't a usable link, even though I just had literally grabbed it seconds before from Discord. So I don't know. Let's see here. Anything is possible. It's true. It is true. Judging me hard for what? Not liking The Dentist? Because The Dentist 2 is better? Or because I don't know The Pit? Is that what it is? Maybe it is. Yeah, let me see if I can share the link for the Discord. I don't know. I'll never understand how these links work. Part of me thinks that as soon as somebody else creates another link to share, like for example, if a moderator went over and grabbed a link after I grab a link and shared it, that it would basically make the link that I have not work anymore. I don't know, because this link is supposed to be good for 7 days. I just copied it And here we go. Join the Davey Deathray Discord. It's a triple rock block of air supply. It's an alliterative nightmare. I'm going to pin that message. There we go. Boom. There y'all are. There you go. Watched only one episode of 8, so all I know is it starts off strong. Cool. Sweet. Yeah, I mean, pretty good. Sounds like you recommend it. I'll take that as a recommend. I have not. No, I can't. I watch movies in my own time. And I guess I'll say this, like, if you really want me to watch something tonight, I don't know. I usually say, what, if you want me to watch something tonight, then you could drop a $10 super chat and I will make sure to watch it tonight. But other than that, and that's not me saying like I will watch it, Austin. I have it on my watch list. Like, it is on my watch list. It's one of those movies. I'm just kind of I'm on a little, like, I've got it figured out in my head how I'm approaching the movies I haven't seen yet that I want to knock out. So I'm guessing Green Room, I'll probably have it watched within the next month at least, but very rarely do I just kind of like drop everything for a movie just on a whim. I don't know why. I don't know why that's the way I am. I'll just be honest with you about the way I am. All right, let's see here. Somewhere out there underneath the pale moonlight, someone thinking of me tonight. I'm just making up my own. At this point, I don't know what else to do. But I want to make sure I'm throwing Jiggy some love, because Jiggy's always throwing so much love over to the channel. So even if I don't know the song, I'm just going to give it my best. I'll be 30 this year, so I'm watching 101 of my favorite movies in preparation for that. Hell yeah, man. I need to do something fun for my birthday this year, like a fun kind of stream thing. If only Davey made me a mod. I've done mod work for other channels, just throwing it out there. I appreciate that, Carrie. We've had some turnover with mods, and some kind of quick turnover within the last 2 or 3 months. So I'm putting a pause on adding people as mods right now. So yeah, it's nothing personal. It's just one of these things where I think we have enough for a stream like this. If something were to happen, or somebody were to come in here, I would be able to take care of it, or at least I think I would. So, but I do appreciate you, Carrie. I'll definitely keep it in mind for sure. We can do that, Antonis, for sure. Oh, it's just cannabis though. It's okay. You know what? I don't even know who Kenny is, but I think Rowan's probably a little too old to play high school now, if it's a high school character. Now, I don't know if it is, but I'm guessing. But I know that show is already it's in the can and everything, Billy. So yeah, I guess we're going to get a different Kenny Garson, if Kenny Garson's in the show. And welcome on in, Billy. Hope you're doing well. Let's see here. I have not seen, no. Here's what I'll tell you guys, and Prince, I'm sure you know this. If it's a TV show that's come out in the last 10 years, I probably haven't seen it. And I put movies are up here as far as importance and, visual storytelling. TV shows are halfway as far as a ceiling. Well, it's I know there's the occasional show that really does break out above that, but TV shows to me are TV shows. They're just not as cinematic and all that kind of stuff. Oh my gosh. Well, now I'm gonna wait even longer. How about that, Linda? I'm just joking. Oh yeah, no, I really wanted to see it when it came out. Originally, I was living in Portland, and for whatever reason, I didn't catch it in the small run. I think it went to a smaller theater. And I've been meaning to watch it. I just it is on the watch list, and my watch list, I really only add things there. G has been recommending stuff to me, so I've been throwing some stuff on there that he's recommended. So it's a pretty healthy, 25 movies right now. So yeah, I've got it. I've got Green Room right there. right next to Starry Eyes from 2014. So yeah, it will get watched. And it will get watched. There you go. There's a little singing for you. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Yes, the link works. Holy crap. I can't believe it. I can't believe it, because the last time I shared that shit, man, Erica was talking all sorts of smack. No, I would say usually if Erica's talking smack, she's probably got a good reason to. Oh, Somewhere Out There. I love American Tail. That song made me so sad when I was a kid. Yeah. Oh my goodness. No cats in America. That would be a sad America. I love kitty cats. I love them. 30 hit me so hard. I'll be 44 in like 2 months. Not even. I'll be 44 on May 18th. How about that? How about that? Thoughts on the Beastie Boys? Well, incredibly talented trio of musicians right there, the Beastie Boys. Could have done anything they wanted. They were revolutionary in hip hop, and outside of that, I think they were maybe the first hip hop group to play their own instruments. And as an extension of playing their own instruments, they didn't only play hip hop. So I really love they did it a little bit on like Paul's Boutique, and then like I think they got a lot more comfortable as far as like Check Your Head and Ill Communications is really where I feel like the Beastie Boys settled into like what they would be known for, like by and large, as a band, because those two records, Check Your Head and Ill Communications specifically, they feel very similar. They've got their hip hop and rap songs, but then they also have funk songs. They have instrumentals. There's some punk rock songs in there as well. And just a lot of different, moods and a lot of variety on those two records. So yeah, I think the Beastie Boys are very eclectic, really, really good. I think they all have really good voices as well. I love that they all sound unique and different, and you can go all the way back to License to Ill and get your tried and true, like drinking beers, partying with girls, like Run DMC, Beastie Boys, really fun hip hop vibe. And then you can follow them down the path in their career when they get very experimental. And then I think by the time Hello Nasty came out, they really did find their voice as far as like being very mainstream and very accessible, but still sounding like artists. It's really tough to try to encapsulate everything with those guys, but I do. But for somebody that doesn't quite understand hip hop the way that I do, music that is like, I guess more like rock influence or blues influenced rock music is more like my cup of tea or my vibe. The Beastie Boys are a band I can really get behind. Watching them play Sabotage like live and they're playing all the instruments is really cool. And, like that kind of stuff is just really fun. And then the older I got, when my taste kind of got a little more refined, or I was opening myself up to other stuff, and then I would go back and listen to records like Check Your Head and Paul's Boutique and Ill Communication. I was just really loving a lot of the instrumental stuff and the stuff that I didn't appreciate as much as a kid, So yeah, I think Beastie Boys were pretty special, pretty damn special for sure. Oh, and I don't doubt it at all. I'm putting the brakes on it because I made those types of decisions with people, and I probably should have waited to get to know them a little bit better. And that's not to say that those people that I don't think those people are bad people. It just wasn't a good fit for the moderating kind of thing. So I just like to get to know people more, and I like to make those decisions in my own time. That's all. I think Carrie's wonderful. It's not a judgment on Carrie at all. It's it's just me needing to I don't know what the word is I'm using, or I'm trying to think of. It's just all about boundaries and me having to make sure that I'm running the channel the best way that I see fit. So I appreciate you guys, and I know you all are just being sweet about Carrie, and I think that's very lovely of you all, for sure. Like in the middle, Davey, for TV shows, or bottom? I don't know. What is in the middle? I would say TV shows are just like half as good as movies. You know, it was some of them break out, but not all of them. Yeah, not all of them. Well over 1,000 on the watch list. Yeah, I just crossed 2,100. So I'm at 2,104, and I've watched 70 new to me movies this year so far. Whew, crazy. And I know I haven't remembered it. Like, I've not checked everything on the list. Like, I'm probably like, maybe I'm at 2,200 movies that I've seen in my whole life. Maybe. I think that's being a bit generous, though. Oh, well, trust me, Aaron, there's more movies I need to watch than just the 25. Those are just the ones that are on the list. There we go. Oh, thanks, man. I do appreciate it very much. Thank you. Thank you. 24 here next month on the 15th. There we go. Theron is going to be 40 in October. What day in October, man? That's a killer month to have a birthday. Hell yeah. Let's see here. Davey, what's your favorite Disney Pixar movie? Ooh, I don't know. I don't ever think about those movies. Like Monsters Inc. was cool when I first saw it. I was like 20 when it came out, you know, like I'm trying to think. Like Toy Story 3 I thought was really emotional. I guess I'll say Toy Story 3. I don't know. I don't even know if that's Disney Pixar or if that's just Pixar. I don't know if there's a difference. I don't know. I love the American Tail like thing that is just refuses to quit here. I love it. Yeah, Linda loves it too. It's keeping Linda in the chat. You know, she private messaged me. I actually just got the notification. She's like, Davey, you are terrible on this stream. I'm only staying for the American Tail chat. I'm just joking. She didn't send anything like that. And the streets are made of cheese, y'all. I'm a year and a few months older than Nanette. All right, we're right there in that wheelhouse. Busted my record player speakers on Beastie Boys. I've got, which ones do I have? I have Ill Communication on double vinyl. And I've got License to Ill. Do I have Paul's Boutique? I might have Paul's Boutique on vinyl. But dude, I love Ill Communication so much. And having those, like, it's a long record. I think that record has like 20 tracks on it or something like that. Because there's little tracks that are just like interludes, or, you know, the punk rock songs are like a minute long, maybe, or maybe just a little bit longer. But yeah, those records, they sound amazing on double vinyl. 180 gram, just beautiful. Oh yeah. Dang, I just like slopped a bunch of water on myself. Yeah, not a bad track on License to Ill. And you know, I think Paul's Boutique is the one that doesn't get talked about enough. The forgotten Beastie Boys record that's really, really damn solid. And is them going out on a limb for sure. It's a lot different than you know, than License to Ill. We got Justin 25471 says, drink a beer, but I stopped drinking. Justin, gosh, it'll be 8 months here in like less than 2 weeks, guys. So closer to 8 months than not. How about that? Or maybe Justin's just commenting on the Beastie Boys. They were big into the beer drinking, hanging out with women, no sleeping till Brooklyn, all that kind of stuff, you know. Let's see what else we got. Well, I don't know. See, I don't know the whole Carrie universe very well, Billy, and the show's already done. So, but if you go to IMDb, you can see a whole cast, you know, cast list of everything. Yeah, man, he gone way too soon. MCA, that really sucks. Pretty bummed I never got to see Type O Negative live. Yeah, it's another one. Davey, do you like Husker Du? I've been listening to Zen Arcade and New Day Rising a lot lately. Great punk band. Yeah, I love me some Husker Du. Good old Wall of Sound. You know, Bob Mould's voice is really cool, but gosh, what's his name? I'm totally forgetting the drummer's name right now. He's got a great voice as well. Yeah, they're both fantastic singers. I think Husker Du is really fun. New Day Rising is a great record. Yeah, there's Zen Arcade, and then what was the other one I really liked? There's like an EP that's got It's Not Funny Anymore on it. Gosh, I just can't think of the name right now. But yeah, I mean, especially so Zen Arcade's got that dirty punky sound. Like they almost sound like a totally different band in Zen Arcade versus New Day Rising. But New Day Rising really does have that like fuzzed out wall of sound. Really cool, like kind of noisy, kind of drony, but there's something about that I really like with Husker Du, just the way that they would write their melodies around that stuff. Let's see what we got here. All right. 2,712 on the watch list. 2,984 titles that I've seen. Wow. All right. You've seen a lot of movies. Holy cow. Holy cow. Yeah, I know you're totally cool, Carrie. Yeah, you guys are sweet. I definitely am not taking offense or anything like that. And yeah, maybe that if that will happen, then it'll just happen in due time. The 23rd of October. All right, there we go. October 26th. Okay. So we got a couple October babies right there. Wall-E is pretty good, Aaron. That's a pretty good one. I didn't even know that was Pixar. That's how out of touch I am with they're just not really on my radar, those types of movies. What's happening, King Matthew? Hope you're doing well. Welcome on in. Inside Out is a cute movie. Yeah, and I didn't, because now there's so many more animation studios. Like you knew back in the day, 90s, early 2000s, if it was CG, pretty much. I guess DreamWorks did like Ants and shit like that, but pretty much you knew it was going to be, Pixar. But now I'm like, oh, that's Pixar as well, because you've got. Illumination is doing all sorts of really cool stuff. I think they're doing, of course they did the Despicable Me, right? That's them. But really, I probably wouldn't even know their name if they didn't pick up the Mario movie. I think that's what really like solidified their name for me, Monsters Inc. is better than Toy Story. Well, I mean, Toy Story is just like the OG, right? So it's like, that's like the demo tape pretty much. As far as like, oh, we can actually do this legit, all computer animated, right? So you would expect they would get better, and yeah, I mean, I think they have it. I think it's been a while since Pixar's really pushed, like the technology doesn't seem like it's been pushed very far recently. It's probably like a ceiling for how good that stuff can really get and be a, still be like a cartoon kind of thing. Dude, Prince, that's crazy. That's a crazy watch list. How do you even determine, how do you make a decision when you have that many? Whew. Oh my goodness. That's why I keep my watch list short. Like I have a mental list in my head of all the movies. Like I know the movies I haven't seen that I need to see. But it helps me with some of the movies that I never think about that people recommend to actually put those on a list. Yeah. We got Nicholas Woodall hanging out. What's happening, Nicholas? Hope you are doing well. Hope you are doing well, my guy. Said it many times, my birthday is October 16th. Look at all these October birthdays popping up. I love seeing that. I probably not. Did we get a fourth one and I just don't even know that it happened? Or is the fourth one the one that's the newest one that's coming out? I don't even know. I don't even know. Yeah, Paul's Boutique it's just very different, huh? It is like it's like the Beastie Boys were like, okay, we made the record for everyone else, now we want to make records for us. We did the one that was the party record for all y'all. You will like the other records, but we're going to make sure that they're for us instead. But you're going to dig them. You're going to dig them. Maybe not every track, but you're going to dig these records. Let's see what else we got here. What do you think of the movie They Will Kill You? Guys, going to get into a big old discussion on They Will Kill You, comparing it and contrasting it to Ready or Not to Here I Come. That is going to be a live stream on Sunday evening, 8 p.m. Eastern. We're going to have that chat. So I am going to keep my lips zipped on this one. I don't want to say anything because I want that anticipation to build. What I will say, though, if you really want to enjoy the discussion on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, watch both movies. Go check them out. It's not going to be like, we're not going to break down every element of the plot and everything, but we are going to openly talk about the movies. So it's not going to be a stream about spoilers, but there will be spoilers. So yeah, and I'll give you all my thoughts and everything. That's going to be really fun. We're going to have our friend Julie Lynn on. She is a channel member, and she, pops up over on Night Watch Zone and some other folks' channels. So she's doesn't have a channel herself, but she's kind of hopping around, doing the tour, talking horror. So I've been looking for new people to collaborate with. And I've also, shocking, I've had way more dudes on here than the ladies as far as collaborative guests. Now, part of that is that I just happen to know more guys that do this kind of thing. Maybe it's just a little more comfortable to reach out to another dude and be like, hey man, I like your channel. Want to do something? Cool. And that's it. And then, yeah, I guess even just within the space, we always have blind spots. So I'm sure there are great, amazing female content creators that I just don't even know about yet because, Google/YouTube hasn't thrown me in, or hasn't thrown them in my algorithm, right? Sometimes that's purely the reason why. It's really bizarre how that stuff goes. So yeah, just trying to make a concerted effort to mix it up and collaborate with some new people. And then when collaborating with new people, maybe just start thinking about, hey, let's bring in a perspective that I don't always have in here. So yeah, you'll hear long way to answer that question. I won't tell you right now what I thought of it, Nicholas, but I will say you should watch it and Ready or Not too, and then come on down Sunday 8 p.m. Eastern and you'll hear all of my thoughts. If I were a first-time director, what would be my vision? Meaning, what subgenre plot direction would you go for? A serial killer, slasher, supernatural one? If I could make one movie, if you told me right now you can make one movie, I would make God. I mean, like in my heart, I want to make my zombie story that I've got because I think it would be really cool. It would say some things, about us, in a typical George Romero fashion. I would try to keep it subtle. I would try to work it into the subtext and not have it be, condescending or anything like that for sure. But I think that's what I really like about a zombie subgenre is, and I would use slow zombies. It would be Romero-esque in that way as well. I think there's just a really cool way to have awesome social commentary and I don't know. There's just something I like seeing humanity in these movies or a lack thereof and the void that it leaves, something like that. I think zombie stories, it's kind of what they're all about, the lack of humanity or the decimation of humanity, both in a literal sense and in a figurative sense as well, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's how I would want to go. I've got some short story ideas and stuff too. If I ever were to make a film, what I honestly would do is think to myself, what's the story that I think has the best chance? Don't go for the thing that I think is my favorite, but what do I think would have the best chance at success. But before all that, I'd have to make a bunch of crappy movies by myself. Not those kinds of movies, Prince. Come on. Did I watch the new Halloween game video today? Yes, Antonis asked about this a couple times. I did put it in the description. So let's have a chat about Halloween the game. All right. So guys, we got this like 7-minute-ish, maybe 6.5-minute long trailer that shows off the not too much of the story mode, but the 1v4 gameplay modes for Halloween the game. So we finally got some footage of, Michael showing off some of his superpowers. They discuss the way that these, abilities work and some of the limitations with the abilities, which I thought were pretty awesome. And I gotta say, I was really encouraged by the way Michael looked. Like the texturing on the mask and everything from all sorts of angles and lighting looked really good. And then the way Michael moves and everything Nick Castle did some of the motion capture. They also had a younger, stunt actor playing Michael as well. So it's a combination of the two. And I really feel like that old school shape vibe. So I love that it does feel like Nick Castle's Michael Myers. And I think for most of us, at least myself, especially if you're making a game that's in that era, that's what I want. I want a Michael that is more of like a normal sized guy and has a very specific way of moving, because Nick Castle has a very, very specific way of moving. Not anyone can put on the coveralls and the mask and give you the feels, the creepy goosebumps that Nick Castle can, at least for me. So I'm pumped that he came back. Michael looks awesome. I love the idea how they're incorporating the other people in the town. It doesn't seem like it's an escort mission. So it doesn't seem like you're sitting there, having to rescue people. Really, I think the way they set it up in the trailer is it looks like you go find neighbors and you tell them like, hey, you need to call the police. And so it sounds like one of the ways you beat Michael essentially is, having neighbors buddy up with you. So neighbors it looks like they can call the police. It looks like they can get involved. There's a lot of, in this video footage, there are multiple times where there's like 2 or 3 good guys beating up Michael to knock him down, which is pretty awesome to see. So I think this is looking to be pretty damn fun, guys. If you haven't checked out the footage yet, I highly recommend you check it out. I would show it here, but the music might get me a copyright hit or might get me some sort of hit that I just don't want to deal with. But I could do a separate video for it. It's a lot easier to deal with the audio and to, change it after the fact rather than have it affect the whole stream here today. So I don't want to show the video here, but I highly recommend you check it out. It looks really good. Like if you're a Halloween fan, you're going to want to check this out. And we don't get too many more tidbits about like our characters or anything like that, but we do get to see them interacting with each other. We get to see them interacting with some of the other townsfolk. And then of course we get to see Michael, like whole bunch of mayhem, a lot of fun. And yeah, it looks like it's going to be really cool to play not only as Michael, but also as one of the heroes. So I'm looking forward to it, Antonis. I'm chomping at the bit, man. I usually don't play these kind of games, so I'm even more looking forward to it, that it's going to be something that I know I'm going to be a total, noob at this style. I played the Friday the 13th game, 3 or 4 years ago? I played it a handful of times. So and I've never played the TCM game, so this isn't like my style of game that I'm well practiced in, but I'll go out there and get my ass kicked just for the fun of it. I mean, come on, it's Michael Myers. What the hell am I supposed to do, right? What am I supposed to do? I can't do much about it. Let's see here. What do we got? Have I heard the violin version of 21 Guns from the American Idiot musical? No, I haven't. No, I'm not into, like, American Idiot is... yeah, it's like, okay. It's pretty cheesy to me, though, for sure, I would say. Grant Hart. Why do I know that name? Oh, Grant Hart from, yes. I was like, the drummer from Husker Du. Thank you, Christine. Sorry, like I said, guys, sometimes if it's not associated with the thing that I said earlier, like I know that name, and it just takes me a second to go, yes. Let's see what else you guys got going on in here. Okay. Ooh, November 1st. There you go. So Halloween was an interesting night for your mom, huh? Look at that. Theron the Brutal became a YouTube channel member. Thank you so very much, man. Really do appreciate you. That is awesome. Guys, the membership has just continued to pop off. And I want to let you know, Theron, that we've got, so I will do just kind of streams that are sort of like this for just the members, where it's like pretty chill and it's just, you know, I would say a little more laid back kind of, and more intimate. You know, it's just, we just get to really nerd out about whatever we're talking about. But then I'm also doing this thing called Horror Movie Club. So every other week we meet up on Monday night and we discuss a couple different horror movies that we decide beforehand. And instead of just talking about like the regular, like, oh, I liked it, or this was cool, that was cool, it's more of like a kind of like a book club sort of thing where we talk about the you know, thematic elements, the literary you know, elements of the film and all that kind of stuff. So just want to let you know what's out there as far as membership stuff goes. And then we've got, like, you got your cool icon, and then we've got you know, little emojis and all that kind of fun stuff. Thank you so much for becoming a channel member, man. Really do appreciate you. All right, let's see what we got going here. Coco and Encanto are good Pixar flicks. See, and I've heard of those. I did not know that they were Pixar either. Yeah. So many movies get made that they fly right by because I'm so hyper focused on all this horror stuff. Really, I mean, for the last 2.5, well, it'll be 3 years in July that I've been doing the channel, even more focused on horror than I ever have been, you know, before in my life. But I know that some of these movies came out well before I was ever doing, you know, YouTube. My ignorance to many a film, you know, has nothing to do with what I'm doing here now. Let's see what else we got going for you. Or from you guys. Let's see here. These gotta be more lyrics. Jiggy, are you on the American Tale, the whole thing? I guess I gotta listen to the soundtrack tonight. Man, that first movie really hit me hard when I was a kid. And then Fievel Goes West came out, and I was like almost too old for it at that point. It's too bad. It's too bad. Oh, you shuffle. Gotcha. Encanto might. How dare you lie to me, Aaron? Did you just lie to me? Oh my goodness. Yeah, which one? All of them? Yeah. I think all of them is the right answer. One sec, guys. Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about Samara, yes. Catherine Newton, also, sure. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I even think, you know, Zazie Beats or Zazzy Beats, however I don't know. Zazzy, if you're watching, can you let me know? I guess I could just look it up on Google. They'd probably tell me. I think she's a cutie as well. I don't know if she's as... Whatever. I'll talk about her as an actress more on Sunday, because I've got... I don't want to say anything. I've got some really, really good things to say, and I don't want to, you know, give you every little nugget right now. So I'm taking away all the nuggets. Did I miss the Halloween game discussion? I don't think you did. I think you popped up on right at the perfect time. I'm 30 and I'm 30 and scared. I'm thirsty and scared. Thank you so much for joining us. Also, do you game on PS5, Xbox, or PC? Love you on Hit the Bricks. Well, thank you so much, man. I really do appreciate you. Yeah, it is incredibly special and awesome to be able to do that show with Lee and Nick. I mean, I've been watching Lee for 10 years, over 10 years. And, you know, he and Barry from Wolfman's Got Nards, and Dave McCrae. Those are the three that were like really big at that time, that like, you know, 2016, 2017 time. So it's kind of like, guys, I mean, I'm sort of beside myself. The fact that it's like, oh my God, I'm on like a regular show with Lee. Like I co-host a show with one of the guys that, made me want to do this, that was like inspired me. So it's just kind of nuts. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you came over to the channel and found out what we do over here. That's more of the manic kind of craziness that you're going to get from me over on Hit the Bricks, but I'm completely untethered over here. So I don't think you missed it. And I game right now. Really, guys, I'm just gaming on a Switch. I don't do a lot of online gaming. So I'm going to have to upgrade and get a new system for the Halloween game. I would go PS5 because I really like the PS3. I like the PS4. I prefer the PlayStation controller to the Xbox controller, like where the joysticks are set. I like them more on the PlayStation. So yeah, comfort is why I choose that. It's nothing else. But I hope hopefully you didn't miss that. I don't think you did. Yeah, I had a fun little diatribe about that one. Just blah, blah, blah. All right, let's see what we got here. Paula, I did not see the awards. I don't watch awards shows. I don't do it. When I was a kid, I was into that kind of stuff, and then I just kind of lost interest. Yeah. Yeah, me no have an agenda, to quote the great Michael Scott from the pilot episode of The American Office. Let's see here. Oh, Space Jam? Okay, so we've moved. So now we've gone from An American Tail, and we've moved over to Space Jam. I just want to make sure. We are in the random chaos part. That's all the time, every stream, right, G? The random chaos part. Oh, it's so funny. Like, I know I use that phrase quite a bit, the random or the chaos, but it really does feel like it, you know? I don't know. Is there going to be an Incredibles 3? Mark Ruffalo would be very expensive. And also maybe they're tired of his bullshit too. I think Mark Ruffalo's pretty insufferable, but that's just a personal thing. And y'all, you know what? I will say this about him as an actor, and I know I've said it over here. Dude always looks like he's got a mouthful of mashed potatoes. Like, the guy looks like, what is in your mouth all the time? What is happening there? I don't know, Mark. Let's see here. What else do we got? I think they had Tony Moran do some of the motion capture too. No, they had Tony Moran do some audio. They had him do some very colorful audio. Yeah, one of the unlockables, Aaron, is him saying atrocious things about Jamie Lee Curtis. I heard Tony Moran actually played Michael Myers in every movie, and they just don't want to admit it. Tony's the only one out there willing to tell the truth. Oh, that fucking guy. Let's see what else we got going on here. Every day I'm shuffling. Can I read music? You know what? I forgot. I did take guitar lessons when I was younger in the early 90s. And so I knew at one point how to read music, but I did not keep up on it, Christine. I should have, and I didn't. I also should have gone to school for music. I should have done that as well, because I really loved it, and I was so in love with doing my own thing. But I should have, like Luke Skywalker, I shouldn't have left before I completed my training. I should have gone to school for it, and I probably would have found some... at least some level of success, you know, trying to make my own band happen after that. So yeah, I wish I did, but I can't. What flavor are you running in the pen? So this one is the brand is called Dime, and this is a collaboration. Does it say it right there? No, it says it right. Oh yeah, it's a collaboration, sorry, with Ice-T, the rapper. The rapper actor, and it is a peach iced tea. It's very, very tasty. I also have, this one is a hybrid, and I've got this one that is an indica that is plum, and oh my gosh, it's very tasty, but it is very heavy, if you know what I mean. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. We're having the rockinest battle. They will kill you. Ding, 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 ding. Versus Ready or Not. Here I come. A no-holds-barred battle for which film is better. Compare and contrast. Both movies have satanic cults. Both movies have hotties at the center. Both movies have a sister-sister dynamic. Which one does it better? Tune in on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern to decide. There we go. I cut a whole promo for that shit. And I don't even watch professional wrestling. And I cut a promo. How do you like that? How do you like that? Yeah, Samara is very gorgeous. She is. She's got a great scream and a really good American accent. I love her American accent and her scream. There is something valuable in a scream, man. Not everyone has... For a scream to be like pleasing to the ear, or at least... You know what I mean? Like sound like what you want a scream to sound like, but it doesn't hurt my ears. Does that make any sense? Like certain people just have, like Bruce Campbell has a really great scream. Some people just have them. Others don't. What can you do? Samara Weaving. I think as far as the actresses that are like working today in horror, she's got the best scream I've heard out of all of them. Like it's fucking unreal. How am I missing? There we Paul's jumping on in. Paul, you know what? I'm going to say a little what's up to Paul here because I saw that you had dropped the $2 earlier, and then I just must have, I was so in shock that I was like 30 minutes behind on the chat that I just like bailed right after all that. But Paul, I'm so sorry that I didn't give you an extra special hello. I'm trying to find your chat here because I didn't mean for it to go away. Where is it? Where is Paul? Oh, we're getting so close. We're getting so close. There we go. Mr. Hot Flesh 66. Yes. Oh, are we talking about Evil Dead? We talking about Evil Dead? Yes. There's one called Evil Dead Wrath that'll be in 2027. Yeah. Francis Galuppi is the name of that director. So yeah, they are just hopping around, making it all happen. And Paul, I'm so sorry. I should have shown a light on that. Guys, Paul is one of our great channel members, dropping the super chat earlier as well. And Paul, you've been relatively quiet. So maybe I missed one of those chats from earlier. Just want to say what's up. Hope you're doing well, man. Hope the month has gone well for you. Played the Evil Dead game on the Xbox. It's dead now. Yeah, and hopefully we won't run into that with with the Halloween game, because it is going to have that story mode. So even if the servers go away at some point, you're still going to be able to play some part of the game. So, you should be able to get your 60 or 70 bucks value out of it. Or, maybe I would imagine with something like Halloween, they'll probably put together some sort of special edition bundle. What do those things usually cost, guys? Like, you guys have to tell me. I'm guessing what the game brand new is 60 to 70 bucks, right? And then what if you buy some special edition, it's like 100 or 120, or I don't even know. Like and do they even do that kind of stuff anymore? I don't. You please, guys, tell me. I am so out of touch when it comes to modern gaming, so I need some help with that one. He is, and you know what? God bless him he cares. I'll say that. Like I don't doubt that the guy cares. That's not what it is, guys. And also, it's not just like whether or not I agree with him. I think it's just the Hollywood thing. The people that are like, trust me, I live in a mansion in a gated community surrounded by other millionaires, and I make tens of millions of dollars a year. I totally know what it's like to be a regular person, and I totally have your best interest at heart. That's what I have a tough time with. I mean, I joke that I'm out of touch because I don't know everything about, modern gaming or whatever. But let's be honest. I would guess that a lot of millionaires are pretty out of touch. A lot of them. Maybe not all of them. Yeah, like I can read tablature, and I can, if I were to write a song and like I could teach it to somebody else, I'd be able to do that. Like I know the chord names and all that kind of stuff. I just forgot, as far as sheet music goes, like where each note falls on the staff, essentially. If you were in bands, that is a level of success. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true, Aaron. Thank you. Yeah, sure. There are some things that I would have never gotten to do if I, didn't go the route that I went. So, you never know what the other path would have been like. Maybe it would have been worse. Maybe some terrible thing would have happened to me if I went to music school, some accident, or you just never know, right? So there's a reason why it shook out the way it did. So definitely not lamenting that. And yeah, I mean, like, there are certain bands that we got to open up for in the various bands I was in, or even just the experience of touring, the experience of driving from, playing in Canada and driving all the way from Canada, like to Idaho, and then Nevada, and all of California and Washington and Oregon and all that. Like that, all of that was super fun. So, and getting to open up for like, gosh, what was why am I totally brain farting on the band right now? That was like just on the tip of my tongue. I've been doing this too much tonight, guys. Maybe it's the ganja. Let's see here. I'm trying to think of, oh, there we go. That is so silly that I couldn't remember that. That is so silly. Got to open up for like certain bands that were like, Cobra Skulls from, I believe they're originally from Reno. Like, love the Cobra Skulls, so that was really cool to open up for those guys. Off With Their Heads, that was awesome. Like, I love that band. Really cool opening up for those them as well. Masked Intruder, like actually getting to hang out with the guys without their masks on and talk to them as dudes. That was pretty dope. Got to open up for DOA, which is like a seminal punk rock band from Vancouver. So yeah, I mean, there's some pretty cool stuff. Yeah, some pretty cool stuff for sure. Definitely had my moments there playing punk rock. I'm a bad influence on everyone. Oh, you're talking like with the getting that Ruffalo rage going. Well, hey, if the Hulk isn't allowed to get angry, can I at least get angry? Jiminy Christmas. Would I like a Green Day early days-esque biopic? No, I don't like biopics. Yeah, I especially don't like musical biopics. It's a very specific like taste to have in movies. I extra don't like the ones about musicians. They lie even more on the musical biopics. It's terrible. I think I'd love to hear a band that sounds like early Green Day. Like, that would be fun. Is Samara, isn't Samara Uncle Agent Smith from The Matrix? Really? No, Hugo Weaving. Samara Weaving. Are they actually related? Dude. No. Are they really related? Is my mind about to be fucking blown like live right now? Oh my God. Is Samara Weaving related to Hugo Weaving? Yes, Samara Weaving is the niece of actor Hugo Weaving. Ben Grimm is right. She is the daughter of Simon Weaving, who is a filmmaker and the brother of Hugo. The two actors have worked within the same industry and both appeared in the 2013 Australian film Mystery Road. Oh my God. This is, I don't know why I didn't put it together. Yeah, both Australian, same last name. What the hell? It did not even occur to me. Man, they're all related to somebody else that's famous, aren't they? It sure seems that way anyways. Ben, thank you for blowing my mind today, man. I guess I'm going to hit the pen again. Yeah, you make some good points there. I mean, is the gameplay better? And I guess when I say, is it better, I don't mean, yeah, you could show me the specs, but like, is my brain that's been playing Genesis games for the last 35 years, like, is it going to notice the difference? Probably not. But I get you. American made. That is nice. That is nice. But I will say this, dude, Japanese make fucking awesome. I mean, the technology is fucking incredible. Like, I still think Nintendo is more fun than Xbox or PlayStation. Like, that's the thing, is Nintendo has always been about fun. And it's totally cool. Like, I love that Xbox and PlayStation, they get to duke it out over who is the more popular system for like the big kids, you know, like the adults and everything. But I love that Nintendo, like, the imagination is like still the most important thing. It's really cool. They're still putting out side-scrolling Mario games where they're, yeah, I guess you could say, oh, they're samey, but they're at least creating new, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, new power-ups and new different perspectives and elements to throw in there, you know, to just make them a little bit different than the ones before. So, yeah, I don't know. I've always been a Nintendo kind of guy. And I've always been, you know, I guess gameplay. Yeah, if you're saying gameplay is better, if the engine runs smoother, I hear you. I love that controller. I'm a big controller guy too. Like, I need the control to feel right, which is, you know, like GameCube is my favorite controller of all time. That Wavebird is sick. And I really like the PlayStation one as well. Oh yeah, I played in, so when I was 13, I started my very first band in Alaska. And then as I got older, you know, that band broke up. I started doing stuff acoustically. And then I met a drummer who was playing, he was a few years younger than me, and he was playing in a pop punk band. And I was doing acoustic stuff, but I wanted to start a band. So we just started doing two-piece stuff. And it was, I'd take my acoustic and I'd plug it into a distorted amp. And I had like a pedal board so I could imitate, like, as if we were dropping down to like a weaker guitar and then a beefier guitar. So it was really fun little two-piece thing. And then we ended up getting another guitarist and adding a bassist. And the bassist was a songwriter. That band turned into Danger Deathray, which was my main thing for a while. And Danger Deathray, we did stuff that was like anywhere from like Elvis Costello, late 70s Elvis Costello, to, you know, mid 90s Green Day, to stuff that sounded more like NoFX or like East Coast hardcore, like Paint It Black or Kid Dynamite or something like that. So we were all over the place in Danger Deathray. And then I played bass, and in Danger Deathray, I played guitar, bass, and sang and wrote and all that kind of fun stuff. Played keyboards on the recordings. And then I joined a band called Absent Minds, where I played bass and helped write and produce and all that kind of stuff. So that was really fun. Yeah, all the days I had playing music were a blast. And even the uncomfortable moments that you have with your bandmates and the odd performances or nights where you have to squash some beefs and stuff, like, it's all worth it, you know. There is nothing, I will say, I have not experienced anything in my life that feels better than when you are really locked in at a show. Like, the band is locked in, you're locked in with the audience, they're singing the songs, you know, it's packed, there's just like a vibe, there's just something going on at that show. Like, I've been fortunate to experience that quite a bit, and it is the greatest feeling that I've ever experienced. So, you know, it is pretty incredible. I feel very, very fortunate. Being creative is one of the most you know, important things for me. Did you ever play in Saskatchewan, Davey? Yeah, Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, where our guy Farley Moat grew up. Never played. So we played in East Vancouver, and that's the only place in Canada I've ever played. East Vancouver. We played in a punk house where these kids were squatting. There was no ceiling in the bathroom. It was just eaten. It was rotted away. And we played in the basement. And that was fucking crazy. Like, that was a rough neighborhood. I did not know the place we were playing in was a squat house until we showed up. So it was wild. And here's the thing. If you're an American band and you're going to get paid when you go to play in Canada, you have to tell them you are playing for free. and then you take all the money that they give you and you buy gas and you buy candy and you don't bring any Canadian money back to the States. Ruffalo and his brother were eating ramen noodles before he made it in Hollywood. Then his brother Scott was murdered and never found the killer. Jeez, was it Mark Ruffalo? I'm not saying that he's never been in that spot before, but I think that when you ascend and you get to that point where you have all of this money and you're in this industry that is so far removed from like normal society, you know, or like a normal way of life. So it's like, you know, I'm not like, of course there are people that reach amazing heights in their lives and they, you know, came from nothing. I just think that once you reach that height, it's tough to be truly in touch anymore, you know, because you are just living in a totally different world and by totally different rules too. But that's very sad. I did not know that about his brother. That's really sad. That's terrible. I don't wish that experience on anyone at all. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Like even guys like I was talking to talked the other night about Springsteen. Was it last night? Because like he used to be like, he felt like working man's music. And then, but now, you know, even in the 80s, he was probably doing all right. Obviously the career's like coming up big, right? But, you know, fast forward to today, it's like, what is Bruce, like, how can he really relate with us at this point? You know, he could have come from nothing, but how can he relate with us now? Rank best to worst: Scarface, Jaws, 7, Christine. Yaz, I have not seen Scarface. Can you believe it? Scarface was that Brian De Palma. But you know what I'll do? I will put it on my watch list right now. It is Brian De Palma. All right, let's throw that bugger there. It's one of these movies that you see it referenced all over the place. I feel like I've seen it because of the references and other people talking about it and everything, but I've never seen Scarface. Okay, so I'll rank the others. Wow, best to worst. Well, I like Christine more than I like 7, but I think 7 is technically a more effective, better movie. So if I'm doing it not in my opinion, but I really am trying to like, you know, be objective, I think would be the right word here. Again, no Scarface because I haven't seen it. I would go Jaws, 7, Christine. But I enjoy watching Christine more than I enjoy watching 7. 7's just a little dark. A little dark for me. And Gaz, thank you so much for the $2, man. Really do appreciate you. Guys, so far tonight, we have gotten money from 3 different countries. I think that's pretty cool. Maybe we could have a 4th. I don't know. We've had Canada. We've had the US. That's pretty normal, right? Those 2. But tonight we get a little New Zealand love as well. Gaz, thank you so much, man. Really do appreciate you. And I did put Scarface on the watch list. And sometimes when I'm making a decision to watch a movie, I'm sort of like, what are movies everyone's seen that I haven't seen? That kind of pushes me in that direction. So, yeah, I'll let you know. Once I see it, I will let you know. What's getting remade now? Scarface? Is that what's happening? Oh my goodness. We got Mark from Tales from the Shelf, one of our great channel members. What's happening, Mark? Hope you are doing well. Welcome on in, brother. How's your capped off physical media collection treating you? I hope it's treating you very, very well. The record store I work at has a Punk Till I Die podcast sponsored show in June that Teenage Bottle Rocket is headlining. My boss books bands I wouldn't have thought we'd get. That's pretty killer. I did some recording with those guys there was a show in Portland that I worked on called Bridge City Sessions, and they were in there. So we did like, you know, the setup, and then I just like worked the board and stuff. And then I think video is part of it as well. So Aaron, if you are interested, check out Bridge City Sessions. Hopefully that one's up there. Sometimes bands would come through and for whatever reason, you know, maybe not all the time, the stuff would get released for whatever. But that was a fun little production. If you like, you know, live in studio kind of stuff, and it's very like rough and tumble kind of punky in studio. That's killer, man. That's a big get. That should be a lot of fun for you guys. Hell yeah. Been playing guitar for 29 years. I've played a few metal bands around Dallas and got to open for some of my absolute favorite bands from Europe when they came through Texas. Fuck yeah, man. Isn't that so cool? It's like you just never, you know, it's like those things that you visualize doing and then you get to do some of them and it's even more special. Yeah, like there was one show we played. I'm trying to remember who it was we opened for, because Absent Minds played the Hawthorne Theater, which is like a pretty big spot there in Portland as far as like when punk bands come through. That's, you know, that's the spot that they play. You know, like Propagandhi would play there and stuff like that. But there's certainly bigger places. Anywho, Absent Minds got to play there. I can't remember if it was DOA or if it was another show. We opened up for Authority Zero, and they're actually from here in Phoenix, which is kind of funny. But we opened up for those guys, and after our set, like I think we were the second band to play. At the end of our record, I'm such a huge Jaws fan. So at the end of our record, we have a song called SDSDR. It's Sing, Drink, Smoke, Drink, Repeat. And it's like this kind of like a ska song, but with like a sea shanty kind of rocking back and forth vibe. And this chorus that had like this please take me home kind of vibe going on. So I was like, man, it would be so perfect at the end of the record to put the sound bit from Jaws of the guy singing show me the way to go home. Like, so we put that audio bit from the film at the very end of the record. That's how everything ends. And so we wrap up our set, you know, in front of the biggest audience that I had ever played in front of at that point in my life. And we're finishing up our set as the Local Boys, right? Crowd is packed. They've been having a great time and everything. And as our guitars are ringing out, I just grab the microphone and I start singing the sea shanty from Jaws. And, you know, we end with that song and then like the last song from the record. And then, you know, my bandmates join in a little bit and then everyone started singing it. Like we did a second round and it was like the whole audience was singing this song from this movie that's my favorite movie of all time. And it was just, you know, those moments where like you can't plan it. I didn't get to tour the world doing it every night. It would have been cool and everything, but the fact that it happened, you know, that one time, I'll cherish it forever. So there you go. And that is awesome, Theron. 29 years of playing guitar. I bet you're a fucking ripper, dude. Playing metal for 29 years. Oh, well, that's certainly true. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I guess I've always been a console guy because I grew up in that era. So, but yeah, I mean, PC is like the most control, you know, as far as just everything goes. Yeah. Didn't he just blow your mind this time? Now, didn't I? Gave you my heart and soul. Now, didn't I? I don't know if you're doing Standing in the Shadows of Love. Is that what that is? Is that what that is, Jigsaw? This band Snuff from the UK does a cover of that song, and it's really, really good. It's really good. Yeah, and for me, it's like just the comfortability of the controller, which is a taste thing too. Absolutely. All right, guys. Holy cow, 2 hours, 10 minutes. My voice is so tired, and I know I've got to work and talk a whole bunch this weekend, so I think I'm going to wrap things up here with you guys. But this was amazing. Thank you so much for helping us reach our super chat goal so we could talk for another hour. I've had a blast chatting with you guys. And I know it's funny, like talking about telling the music stories and everything like that. I know that there have been certain times on this channel where I've told some of those stories. So you guys that have been around for like ever have probably heard some of those, but it's cool because I realized, oh yeah, Tia kind of joined the community, or at least this little corner of the community. What, Tia, it must have been, I think it was right around spooky season. And I'm like, Tia probably hasn't heard these stories, you know? And it was like this whole, I mean, music was my life, guys. So if you ever want me to do a stream that's like my musical life, like, oh my gosh, there's so much to talk about. Like, records that I recorded for bands I was in, records I recorded for bands I wasn't in, you know, shows about, you know, just, or stories about shows and tours, and I don't know, like we could really get into it. But I'm very pumped to have some new ideas here. We are going to work in a final guys tier maker ranking, which I think could be really, really cool to do with you guys. And you're all super sweet, man. This was incredible. We've got a Jigsaw dropping a 2, Antonis with a 5-er, G with a 5, Antonis with another 5, Jiggy with a 5, Ryan with a 2, Corey with a 10. Holy cow, Corey, thank you so much. Antonis with a 5-er, Ryan with a 2, Paul with a 2, Theron the Brutal became Theron the YouTube channel member, and Gaz Hearsome dropping a New Zealand 2-bucker. Thank you so much, everyone. You guys are absolutely incredible. I will be back, so not tomorrow night. I've got the night off because actually one of my musical acquaintances from Portland, who, funny enough, appeared on Bridge City Sessions with a band she was in, you know, years and years ago. This is like probably 10 years ago now, close to that. She's going to be in town with her new band. So I'm going to go to a metal show tomorrow. I'm going to work in Scottsdale, going to the metal show in Scottsdale. I'm going to crash out there, and then I'll be back in the West Valley on Saturday. So guys, we are going to do Scary Movie watch party on Saturday. I'm not the biggest fan of that movie, but you guys are, and you guys paid for it to happen. So Saturday night, Scary Movie watch party. That'll be 10 p.m. Eastern. Sunday during the day, I'm going to do a little hang for the UK people. And then Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern is going to be the They Will Kill You / Ready or Not to Here I Come battle for the ages and all that kind of good stuff. So there we go. Just wanted to give you guys the commercial here before we say goodbye. So Nanette would be interested in hearing more of the music stories. Well, there you go. There you are. Who else here? No one else, just Nanette, but okay. Nanette wants to hear it. We will take, I thought I saw, oh, Sean is saying me too, Tia, about something else. You know what? I almost read it as the Ron too, and I was like, I think it's the Ron, and I bet if I'm wrong, Theron will tell me, or the Ron will tell me. But yeah, you never know with screen names. You never know. I'm so pumped that it brought you over here as well, Theron. I hope you have a great rest of your night, man. We'll see you next time around. All right, guys. Yep, that is going to wrap it up here for me. I'm going to go watch a movie I've never seen before. You all are beautiful. Thank you so very much for kicking it with me. Shout out to the moderators. I don't know if any of them showed up tonight, but hey, you know what? You guys were all so well behaved. They got the night off, and we still love them. So, you know, no harm, no foul. Shout out to the Patreon members and our YouTube channel members as well. You guys are amazing. You guys really help make this happen and keep this thing humming. So we will be back this weekend with a bunch of fun stuff, and I appreciate you guys kicking it with me so late here, the middle of the night, late on a Thursday / early on a Friday. You all are beautiful. I love you guys so very much. It's technically the Ron, but Theron is my D&D go-to. All right, so everybody's right. I love it. The Ron, I knew it, says G. And that is a perfect place to cap it all off, guys. You all are beautiful. Love you guys so much. Have a great rest of your night. And you know how we end these things. Until next time, I've been and will continue being Davey Deathray. Take care.